Ah, yes, the legacy of the most subscribed YouTube channel. I believe the first most subscribed YouTube channel was Fred, the Fred channel, the kid who made his voice high pitched. That was I'd say, well, I mean, he was the first one to reach 1 million, and then after him, Smosh regained their crown. But you could look up the whole history of all the different YouTubers who have hold the #1 position as most subscribed YouTuber. But rest assured that it used to be quite the renowned position. You see, nowadays the internet's quite different. There's like the most powerful creator on any specific given platform, but there's really less of that follower count that we used to see back in like 2012 and stuff like that. It used to be crazy. We used to see celebrities gaining like millions upon millions of followers in a very short span of time. Nowadays, it seems like a lot of follower growth is throttled across a lot of different websites because otherwise we'd still be seeing that. I mean, rest assured 100% that there would be people who would be botting. They would be botting their follower accounts up on all different platforms as they do. But before bots and before really the time when the bubble got burst on a lot of the different hall of mirror aspects of social media, that is still a hall of mirrors that's tumbling down. I mean, all aspects of digital world need to be broken down and reevaluated, and they will be. But certainly the phenomenon of the viral video, and then by extension the viral social media account, the viral media platform, YouTube, and then the accounts therein who hold the position of being the most subscribed creators on said platform. So we look at a content creator like Pewdiepie, and of course I remember when the T-Series situation happened, when for those of you who aren't at all familiar with this, back in the day when PewDiePie used to be the actual #1 subscribed YouTuber, and he earned the crown in YouTube around like 2014, if I'm correct. And all these dates and stuff are well archived on the internet. That's not the point of this video. The point of the video I'm getting to is the time that T-Series beat PewDiePie. That was the bots winning. That was these bot farms that were just probably in other countries, like offshore bot farms. Because PewDiePie is offshore. I mean, he's not in the United States. Although he is very popular in the United States. Also, T-Series being outside of the T-Series being in India. I believe it's a music company in India of some variety. They're this production company out of India, and then they're a whole company, and then they beat PewDiePie not a couple of years back now, but I remember that was a huge deal when that happened. I remember that was an ongoing thing where people were live streaming the subscriber counts and stuff like that. I think that got throttled. For some reason, you can't live stream sub counts anymore, or you just don't see those live stream subscriber counts, which is a real shame because those were cool community events where smaller accounts would just start live streaming the subscriber count of different bigger YouTubers, and then everybody would cheer them on. And especially when it was really good, it would be in real time, and people would be watching, and then they'd put their own accounts up there and gain a couple thousand subscribers, which meant something at the time. So it was really cool. That's also the other thing. Back in the day back when Fred hit 1 million subscribers, that was really novel. Back when the first YouTubers were reaching like 500,000 subscribers, back in the day with Smosh and stuff like that. Those content creators were big on a platform that was new back when YouTube, everything on it was authentic, and now everything from like 2005 on YouTube is legendary. In my opinion, you show me something from 2008 on YouTube and it has instant value simply based on when it was uploaded. So all these different aspects of the YouTube ecosystem as it's been developing up until this point need to be taken into consideration when I expand upon the next points that I'm about to make about Mr. Beast. Of course, now overtaking PewDiePie, Mr. Beast, of course, is an individual, although he acts like a corporation, but he is an individual, so he does beat PewDiePie. PewDiePie does act like a corporation in his own respect too. So they're both big content creators. They're gonna commercialize to a certain extent, but that is my next point: commercialization. You talk about that really to a larger extent. You look at someone like Mr. Beast, right? And he's very, very commercialized to a ridiculous extent. I mean, the amount of money that this guy gives away, I mean, he just earns he is a perfect example. I mean, I have to make an entire video talking about Mr. Beast, because this in no way talks is anything to do with his character. It's just more of his image. I mean, it's such a polished image, and it's so like refined and stuff like that. And then he's giving away these large volumes of cash in each video and stuff like that. And I don't know the explanation behind any of that. I'm not getting into it. It has nothing to do with anything like that. This is merely based on like the algorithms and the ecosystem of the internet, and in its relationship to the accounts of PewDiePie and Mr. Beast, and how both of them got to where they are. Now, I understand that does have some overlap with other topics, but we're going to try our best to stay on topic here, okay? So those are my opinions, you know, to PewDiePie being like a gamer who gained all of his notoriety and stuff like that back in the day when YouTube's algorithms were really rewarding that long form game footage and nobody else was doing it. So PewDiePie moved to the top of the recommendation. Bing, bada boom, bada bang. Everything he was doing was pretty innovative at the time. He capitalized on a lot of those video games, like the South Park video game and stuff like that. He did these Let's Plays, you know, these long form video playthroughs of these video game, which were pretty well developed. So he got the benefit of basically showing a new audience all this different game footage from all these different games that people weren't already akin to. So we got to think about that. It's almost, and you got to think that the video game industry makes more money than the movie industry now. So none of this was really fully realized yet. This was all starting to happen. This is all lends itself to that huge number you see of YouTube subscribers next to PewDiePie's name. It's because PewDiePie really is the golden boy of of YouTube. I think he represents that original traditional, like, you know, if you look at his legacy, I mean, it's all sort of muddled, the whole idea of becoming a YouTuber and stuff like that. It seems like every year it fades away a little bit more, and it becomes harder and harder to hold on to that old vision, you know, that old marketing campaign, the YouTube broadcast yourself. You know, that's who PewDiePie is. That's who PewDiePie will always be. He was just a guy in Sweden who just started posting videos on YouTube, and then you know, the dude made it, and it's just him having fun playing Minecraft and stuff like that. And the algorithm and just the timing and all the different things, the YouTube a platform, and the search engine and the recommendation and all the different aspects of YouTube all just played towards his favor. And he's a cool guy. Mr. Beast is a cool guy too. Mr. Beast's story is very similar to that too. I mean, they both do have that appeal to them. Mr. Beast being like out there really doing it, like with the big build, you know, with these like warehouses and stuff like that full of like huge production and stuff like that. But my point being that Mr. Beast overtaking PewDiePie, while it being a very nuanced and dynamic topic, it certainly is a sign of the times as far as like the inflation of the like set designs and stuff like that. Like the amount of money that goes into online content creation, I mean, at this point it's on par with just any other type of industry that's media. They've all sort of blended together and stuff like that. And then it's interesting because that sort of like low res PewDiePie sort of video where you'd be like playing a game quality, but it'd be funny, something like that. That novel, like original, traditional, like content that you would see back in like 2012, 2014, with like all these different platforms really starting to gain an edge. You know, all that stuff sort of went by the wayside to a larger extent over a lot of that time as things developed and the internet became more advanced. But let's be honest, the internet is evolving. We are seeing a new chance now, I think. And then that's sort of the other point of this video, is like, we need to keep that original spirit alive, you know, that original PewDiePie sort of you know, that vibe, you know, that he was just like a gamer, and it's like the dream. It's like everybody wants that job. You know, the Mr. Beast job is like ridiculously crazy because he's like giving away money and stuff like that. I mean, I think the lesson that we could learn from Mr. Beast, honestly, is that you'll be rewarded by to the I think it's like written in the Bible that like the Lord will return 3 times what you give away. And that's Mr. Beast in a nutshell. I mean, he gives away. I mean, I have to make a whole video about that philosophy because that is very respectable. I mean, just not even, I wouldn't even call it like generosity. I would just call it like reciprocal value ecosystem that guy understands, and his like four-dimensional approach to things is very, very innovative. I mean, it is mind-boggling to think about, Mr. Beast as an example. I mean, just his story, very, very remarkable individual. The same with PewDiePie and stuff like that. Also, I want to go on record saying that I wouldn't accept anything from Mr. Beast. I wouldn't accept any iPhone from Mr. Beast or anything like that. If he offered me something, I'd be like, no, thanks, man. I can't accept that. And I feel like then we'd be friends. I would love to have that opportunity at some point in my life. If he offered me something, I'd be like, no, man, I just want to be your friend. And I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that's how people need to treat each other. Whenever you meet somebody who's like got a big following online, because it's going to be more and more common as things go on. I mean, you're going to just run into day-to-day people who might just have like 100,000 followers and stuff like that. Number one, it's really weird when people get like an ego over that sort of thing, because like 100,000 followers is pretty pedestrian nowadays when you consider like the bigger celebrities like cap out around like the 100 million and stuff like that mark. But I'm waiting for a social media platform to come around that just allows all the bots, just allows everything. Like I want the number one most followed account on the new social media platform to have like 1 trillion followers. Like, can we make that happen? Like for my social media platform, or just like my ideal, every single video, I think at the end, because I talk a lot about social media on this channel, and I've been doing that, and I'm going to continue to do that. So I think at the end, I'm going to innovate on an idea for an ideal social media platform. So here it goes. Here's what we have so far. We have the 2012 model for YouTube. So it has to have the algorithms from 2012, and it has to have the search recommendations and stuff like that. Just the overall landscape of YouTube from 2012. Just they can just copy and paste the algorithms and all the code and stuff from 2012 and just reinvent YouTube and call it 2012. So they got that going. And then the other thing is what I just mentioned. They need to have full integration. But what I'm saying is, I think that every single time somebody refreshes a page, that should count as a view. Every time somebody clicks on a video, that counts as a view. I think that views should be like, not like internet impressions, but I think they should be counted like, not easily, but like, when somebody watches it, they could have like watch time and stuff like that. Like obviously, like people can't just keep refreshing the page and getting more views, but I'm just saying like it counts views easy. It doesn't just like, because the lame thing about YouTube is like you upload a video and then like 10 people have watched it, but it still says 0 people. That's really disheartening to new creators. So on this new platform that we're creating is like, as soon as people watch it, we're gonna make sure that your video gets put in front of like 100 people. It's gonna get like 100 views. If they don't like it, then it'll be harder for it to go viral, but it'll be possible. But the whole point of the platform is that you could get 1 trillion followers. Like we're not going to throttle the followers. We're not going to throttle the views. Like the views could go up to 1 trillion views. The followers go to 1 trillion, and we don't delete views. We don't delete videos. New philosophy of the internet, all that, where everything's hunky dory. We're able to like have algorithms that moderate behavior that's dishonest, but as long as everybody's playing by the rules and the community guidelines, then we're going to be all set. So those are my ideas for a social media platform. While we watch YouTube and so forth, develop and over time, become a new shape of itself. YouTube 2022 is a way different place than YouTube 2012 by a long shot. But it'll be interesting to see how these platforms. Yes, this is a send off to PewDiePie. At least it's going to Mr. Beast. He's not the worst content creator to take it from. PewDiePie. I mean, PewDiePie's had it forever. It had to go to somebody. Logically, it was Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is on track to become like the first billionaire off of YouTube, which is insane too. So, respect all around. That's my opinion on it. But yeah. I mean, I don't know. I honestly expected this to be more of like an angry rant. But at the end of the day, it's more just like reminiscing and thinking about how much time has gone by, and like you just sort of miss the golden age of the website. Peace.